Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mallory and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about roommates and roommate stories I have, and also 5 tips on how to get along with roommates. These 5 tips will help you to have the best experience possible and also to kind of set the boundaries for your future in that living space. The first thing I want to talk about is boundaries and communication. It's so important to, right off the bat, when people start moving in, new people or everyone all at once, to just have a little meeting, a little get together, and communicate with one another what you are and are not okay with. I had an experience up at BYU Idaho when I was up there. We kind of all agreed to let each other know when we were expecting other people to come over, or if we could have people over late at night to watch a movie, things like that. And I was on a date with this guy, and he and I wanted to go back to the apartment and watch a movie, and I wanted my roommates to join, so I texted them making sure it was okay for them to come, it's okay for me and my date to go over and to watch a movie, and they said okay, and we ended up watching a movie with my roommates. Then all of a sudden, one of the roommates who came over, she brought all of her friends with her, and they were making spaghetti and hot chocolate. Apparently that's a thing. Anyway, and they were being so incredibly loud and obnoxious, and it kind of was a damper on all of our relationship at that point, because we had already set those boundaries that it was better if we communicated that people were coming over. So we ended up having to kick those people out because they were being very rude, and it was not okay with my roommate. Of course, I would not feel okay with that. However, I would have warned people ahead of time. So the first thing obviously is to communicate, set your boundaries, let people know what you are and aren't okay with, and to kind of let them know the consequences of what will happen beforehand. If that's, you need to store all of your stuff in the room if you move other people's stuff around, or if we end up having a curfew because you're so loud. And it really just depends on the environment and the people you live with. So the first thing is to always communicate and set those boundaries ahead of time. The second thing is to have common courtesy. It goes along right with the communication and the rules. It is super important to keep that in mind, especially because if people work early in the morning or have to get up early, just be quiet and calm and just courteous to others. Don't take other people's things right out of the fridge or right out of the pantry. If you are hungry, maybe ask them ahead of time. I've had some troubles with that in the past, and I can tell you it's really annoying to get home and expect to have your favorite drink there, and it's not there because someone took it. So that's the second thing, is to have common courtesy and, again, communicate with others. The third tip is to be friendly with your roommates. Obviously, if you're not friendly, then it will cause problems and it will cause a fight. And if you're passive aggressive or just don't want to talk, then, just, again, communicate that to them. Just say, you know what, I am not ready to talk right now about whatever confrontation you might have with them or whatever problem, but always remember to be kind to them, because maybe it's their first time away from home and they don't really know how to act around other people. The fourth thing is to engage with your roommates. I have had some roommates who just come home and are in their room the whole time, don't say a word when they come out of their room, and it is very awkward. It's really awkward because, for me, I am personally an extrovert, so I always say hi to people. I always kind of interact with them, and it's kind of awkward when I don't really know if they hate me or not because they're not engaging with me. Obviously, you don't have to always engage with other people, and if you're not feeling it, then you're not feeling it, and you don't always have to say hi or whatnot. But I've just learned from in the past, you build a lot better relationships if you actually engage in conversation and engage in watching movies or doing things like that with your roommates. The fifth tip is to bring service to your roommates. I have learned that when I serve, I am a lot more happy, and they're also a lot more willing to help me when I'm in a bind. I personally serve through baking, so I bake a lot for my roommates, and I just text them and say, hey, you're welcome to have some banana bread or peach cobbler, or hey, I just made cookies, do you want one? And I've just noticed it brightens up their day a lot more, and they're just a lot more engaging, friendly, common courtesy, like have common courtesy, and they communicate more with you when you serve them, and also are willing to take some service as well. These are obviously not required for you to do, but I've just found that these are the best ways to have the best experience. Again, I'll go over them. The one is rules and communication. Second is common courtesy. Third, friendly. Fourth, engaging. And fifth, service. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a good night.